Good morning, dear Professor David. This is my presentation of morphology and syntax. These topics are from the unit 3. In the unit 3, we have the tree diagram, phrase structures rules, lexical rules, and movement rules. Okay, let's start with the phrase structure rules. The phrase structure rules are form patterns that explain how phrases are constructed in a language. They break down sentence into small units, detailing the order and the combination of grammatical categories such as nouns, verbs, and adjectives. The components are s that represent what means the sentence. And the sentence we can divide in noun phrase, verb phrase, and prepositional phrase. The most commonly is noun phrase and verb phrase. And the noun phrase, we have a determiner, which is represented by letter D, E, T, dit, and the noun represented by the letter N. In the verb phrase, we have the verb, which is represented by the letter B. NP means noun phrase and PP prepositional phrase. The prepositional phrase, here we have a letter P, that means a prepositions, and the NP, again, a noun phrase. Okay. In order to understand more visually this information, here we have the tree diagram. The tree diagram show how a sentence is organized in parts called constituents, such as the subject and the predicate. And it is important because they help us to understand the sentence structure visually and identify the role of each word in the sentence. The elements for this tree diagram are letter S. Okay, here we have the same components of the phrase structure, as you can see. But we are going to explain a little bit. Okay, sentence is represented, the whole sentence is represented by the letter S, and we can divide it in the noun phrase, verb phrase, prepositional phrase, and here we have finally the auxiliary verb. In the noun phrase, we have determiner. For example, maybe the, a, or some, and the noun, which will be a person, place, or thing. And optionally, we have also adjective, which is represented by the letters A, D, and G. It serves to describe a noun. In the verb phrase, is focused on the verb and may include the verb, which is represented by letter B, and the adverb, represented by the ADB letters. Prepositional phrase may include prepositions, for example, in, on, or under. And the noun phrase is object of the preposition in this case. And finally, auxiliary verb helps to verbs like is, are, was, have, or will. Excuse me. Okay. We are going to divide this little sentence using the tree diagram. The sentence is, the dog barks. In this sentence, letter S represent the whole sentence. And we can divide it in a noun phrase, which is focused on the noun. In this part, we have the dog. Determiner is the, and the noun is dog. The other part of the sentence is verb phrase. In this case, there is only the verb, which is barks, is represented by letter B. Now, here we have another complex example. The sentence is, the boy is eating an apple. Letter S represent the whole, the complete sentence, and is divided into noun phrase and verb phrase. The noun phrase is focused on the noun, and here we have the boy. The is a determiner, and the boy is a noun. On the other hand, we have the verb phrase, which auxiliary in this case is. Again, the verb, here we have the verb which is represented by letter B is eating. And again, here we have noun phrase, which which is determiner in the noun again. But in this case, is part of the verb phrase. Determiner is an, and the noun is an apple. Okay, let's continue with some of lexical rules. Lexical rules explain how words can change or combine the form to form new ones. This process shows the language grows and how single words can take on different roles. Here we have an example of lexical rules. The first one is affixation. By adding prefix or suffix word to create a new word. For example, here we have a base of word is happy. If we add at the beginning of a word a prefix an, the word change the meaning. Unhappy is the um, change the word happy. In this case, an was happy means the oppositive of happy, or is similar to say sad. But in this case, we are adding the prefix an. Okay. In the other case, here we have the word kind. If we add a suffix to the end of the word s, here we have another type of word that means less or is without kind. It is kindness. The other rule is compounding. By joining two or more words to form a single word with a new meaning. For example, if I take the letter tooth, the word tooth plus a brush, here we have a brush. The new word is toothbrush. Simple. And the rule of conversion. It is changing a word's grammatical category without changing its forms. For example, the word run is used like a verb or as a noun. In this case, we have two examples. The first one is they run every morning before school. In this sentence, run is used like a verb. In the other case, that was a great run through the park. In this case, run is used as a noun. Those are lexical rules. Now, uh, I have a sentence that involves all these lexical rules. The sentence is, we are repainting the football field before the match. The K in this sentence, the affixation is repainting. The base word is paint, but in this case is add the prefix re, that means to do something again. Repaint, repaint. And the suffix ing, that that is for saying simple present participle. and this is the affixation rule. And the compounding is the word football, which is which comes from two words, foot plus ball. Football, that is new meaning. This is an sport. Foot plus ball is a football. The lexical rule is combined two words into one. The last lexical rule is conversion. In this case, in this phrase, the conversion is match, because match we can use as a verb, match colors, for example, or as a noun. In this case, is used as noun, a football match. The lexical rule says the same word but in different function. Okay, let's continue. Now, here we have movement rules. Movement rules explain how parts of a sentence, like noun, verbs, or verbs, can be rearranged to form questions, passive voice, or other sentence types, while keeping correct grammar and meaning. They help us to understand how basic sentence structure can be transformed into different forms by changing only the word order. The types of movement, for example, we have the WH movement, which is when a question word, for example, what, where, or who, is moved to the front of sentence to ask for information. Here we have an example, and it is Lisa cooked dinner yesterday. This is a basic sentence. And we can transform to question, adding at the end the beginning of sentence with the word what. What did Lisa cook yesterday? We are asking about something, about the thing. But if I need the time in the same sentence, I add at the beginning of a sentence when. Now the question, the result is, when did Lisa cook dinner? We are talking about the time. Now, passive voice. We use passive voice. We use when the focus is in the action or the result, not on who does it. The object of the active sentence becomes the subject in a passive one. For example, the first sentence is the chef cooked the meal, but transformed to passive is the meal was cooked by the chef. This is a passive voice. Another type of movement is topicalization. Is defined as a process of moving a part of a sentence, most commonly a noun phrase, to the beginning of the sentence in order to emphasize or focus on the particular element. For example, the basic example is I love chocolate cake, but if I focus in the cake, I can topically say this phrase, and the result is chocolate cake I love. The focus is in chocolate cake. Now, another type of movement is negative inversion. Negative inversion occurs when in a sentence with a negative word, for example, not, never, rarely, not sooner, etc. And the auxiliary verb, for example, is, do, have, will, is moved before to the subject. This is done to sound more formal or emphatic. For example, the standard sentence, I have never seen such a beautiful view. And we transform negative inversion, never have I seen such a beautiful view. And also we can use with questions. For example, positive sentence is you are going to the party. And the negative questions using this negative inversion is aren't you going to the party? And that's all, teacher. I hope you enjoy my explanation. Thank you.